what you're saying right now, nobody's getting this information out. The movement, we've got to stay together and try to learn and verify all this information and find out so that we can fight and stand against it. And we need champions to fight against it.
All right, guys, we're here at the Inspiration Academy in Bradenton. We're here sitting down with Eddie Spears. You're running for?
U.S. Congress, Florida's 16th Congressional District.
Fantastic. And this video is sponsored by?
Official Patriot Gear and Downrange Timepiece.
All right, let's go start it up. So, Eddie, you're running for this district. What district does this cover? What towns locally?
Well, it just got redistricted. So we were, last time I ran, it was Manatee County and southern Hillsborough and eastern Hillsborough. Now it's all of Manatee County, eastern Sarasota, all of DeSoto County, all of Hardy County, a portion of Polk County. And I get the 2 data centers, by the way.
Oh, good for you.
Yay. Oh, we're fighting hard. We're fighting hard against it.
They didn't install them yet. They're trying to install them.
They're at different levels of progress and and approvals. So,
are you familiar with Project Tango on the East Coast? The people fighting that over there?
No.
So there's a coalition.
But hold on, real quick. I don't want to leave out Pinellas and St. Pete. So
Cool.
that's part of the district as well.
Okay. Well, St. Pete's a big Democratic area, right?
It is.
So you really got to hustle there for votes.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of good conservatives up there, and we're connecting with them. And you're going to love a video that we put out with a guy that we met that just laid out Treasure Island and how beautiful old Florida is and all the problems. It's beautiful.
That's the crazy part.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
You got to check out this video. It's awesome.
I'll go
It's awesome. So I'm going to do a meet and greet with this guy up there.
Yeah, you got to send me his info. So
Yeah.
you got into politics when?
I got into politics when I ran for Congress last election cycle. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but honestly, I enjoy meeting people. The actual shoe leather aspect to it, and just meeting people and connecting and giving people hope. Because when you're out there and you're talking to people, they are just disenfranchised and disillusioned. And then somebody comes and says, "Hey, I want to know what you have to say and what are your concerns." It changes the perspective. So there's an element. Even though I didn't win last time against Vern Buchanan, I do want to say that I got 40%, which was more than twice as much as any other challenger in all of Florida.
Was that your first time running?
First time running for anything.
40%.
What was the
For
toughest
anything.
part about it? Running last time.
The toughest part is just recognizing that the entire industry is corrupt. You know, you're like, okay, what do you do? Get a campaign manager. Okay, they're all corrupt.
And that's something that you definitely fight. You're fighting hard.
Yes.
Right now, I can tell. And,
Yeah.
and like we're doing the same thing. It goes so deep that people don't even realize it, and that's what we're trying to bring to light.
Yeah.
What's one of the biggest problems that you see in your districts? Like stuff that you notice.
It's the overdevelopment.
It's everywhere.
It's definitely the overdevelopment, and it is the corruption that comes along with it. So, look, I'm not saying it's okay to overdevelop, but developers are going to be developers, and they've got a job, and builders are going to build, and that's okay. The problem is the political cronyism that happens and the corruptors that take good people and they start to groom candidates. You're either corrupt or naive. That's what the establishment is looking for, these political consultants and campaign managers. Anybody that's on the continuum of naive to already corrupt, and they'll just start working with them and grooming them. And so it puts good people in horrible positions. And the other aspect that I was going to say of what was difficult is you try to get somebody and they're like, I totally believe in what you're doing. I love what you're doing, but I can't say anything because I've got a contract.
We hear that all the time.
I got a contract with this guy. I got a contract with that guy, with this developer, and I don't like what's going on, but I got a family to take care
I
of.
look at people like that. That's treason to me. Just straight up. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing what's right for America and what's best for our country and the state that you are in and fighting for it, I think that's treason. That's my personal.
Yeah, I can understand why people say that. I think it's a crisis of cowardice, honestly. And people have been trained to that masculinity is toxic. you know.
Not around me.
Yeah.
Hey,
That
drink that raw milk and eat that steak, all right?
and it's it's not just male or female, it's standing up, because now all of a sudden there's a bunch of females that are just like, no, this is wrong. Good for them and good for everybody that's going to stand up against this massive push to intimidate and coerce everybody into compliance with what the collectivists want.
It's crazy. You're 100% right on that. Now, what do you see different between the last election cycle and this election cycle?
Oh, that's yeah.
Did you notice a difference?
Would
in
you
the-
say
Yeah.
that, would you say that the younger crowd has woken up to it?
Yes, yes. They're upset about this. The promises are clearly not coming through, and inflation is out of the roof, and it's a problem. People have a problem just getting by. But what's different this time is that when I started, I said from the beginning, this is not just a candidacy. This is a movement. And what makes me so excited is to see so many other candidates that are jumping on board. And
Right, we have a huge problem. Like obviously we speak to a lot of candidates, and a lot of candidates we say, hey, you should meet this guy. Well, I don't want to align, and I try to explain to them, like, you're not aligning with them. You're aligning with the cause, with the movement, the grassroots movement, and that's actually where we met you. We met you at a grassroots movement, and
that's right.
we actually liked you, and we had a nice conversation. We set this up. So we are at the Inspiration Academy in Bradenton. Can you tell people what this is? Like, where am I?
You're in West Bradenton. It's a private Christian school, K through 12. We just started the elementary school last year. And so I started this after I had a software company, sold that, and then started this school back in 2013. And by God's grace, we've just had amazing success academically, athletically, and just a bunch of great people that are just trying to do the right thing despite extenuating, difficult financial circumstances that everybody's under.
So I see a wedding ring. You're
Yes,
married,
yes,
kids.
yes. Beautiful wife, 3 kids, 3 grandkids.
Are they what motivated you to run for office and try to fix things and stop the overdevelopment and maybe some of the infrastructure upgrades?
You know what? That's kind of the typical answer. I never served in the military, and I feel I as an entrepreneur, I've been a movie producer. I've started, had all kinds of success, all kinds of challenges, but all kinds of success because I could see an opportunity. I could jump in and I could address the market issue, whatever it is. I love that freedom, and that freedom's worth fighting for. It's
you're
worth
self-funded.
dying for.
I agree with you
Yeah.
on that last comment. Are
Yeah.
you self-funded?
Yep. Yep.
So obviously no PAC money. You just take donations.
No
from
PAC
people,
money.
What's
your
your
own
feel
money.
on PAC money?
I feel like Citizens United has caused an environment which Joe Gruters and Eric Robinson, his business partner, have been able to put together dark money networks so that nobody knows who's bought by who. And that's what we did last election cycle. We peeled it back, and as I was at all these meetings, these Republican meetings, I just started training everybody. Ask who their political consultant is, ask who their campaign manager is,
Follow the money.
and follow the money. Yeah, thank you. And we gotta be able to recognize and call people out. That's what I was going to say. We've got to call people out and call them out by name. So I started calling people out. Anthony Pedicini, Jennings DePriest, Max Goodman. These are the corruptors of our political process. Everybody's mad at the commissioners, but there's going to be another batch of commissioners, and there's going to be another batch of politicians. They just keep coming. But who's doing the corrupting of these people? It's these political consultancies.
Right. So we're at a point in this country, politically wise, unless you have money, it's very hard to run for office and compete with guys like Byron Donalds, who gets PAC money. What is it, like $70 million?
81 million.
$81 million. How is an everyday guy who wants to help his state compete with that much money?
And another problem that we see is if you're not a part of the establishment, they're not going to even give you the time of day. They're not going to put you on the polls.
Yeah.
They're not going to push you on social media. Even just to give the people a look at what they could choose from.
Yeah.
It's only the people that they care about that they're going to push. And I think that's a problem. I think you should be able to lay out on a board who's running, and the people should be able to decide. And that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Because we want to talk to everybody.
And you guys, we didn't have this friendship last time I ran. And now we've got people
Now we
like
got
you that are recognizing that there's a problem. And that's what's great about this country. People can look at the problem and say, I can do something about this. That's what you're doing. And I'm so thankful for you and for every other candidate, because it's a movement. Because right now we're looking at our country and it's like, what are we going to do? Let's not become disillusioned and disenfranchised and discouraged, because that's what the enemy wants us to do. Let's come together and rally each other and fight and take the wins where we can. And if it's getting Mosaic out of out of DeSoto County, then that's a huge win. Let's go.
Yeah, Mosaic is a big topic amongst the grassroots, not the political establishment, but it
Yeah.
comes up a lot with grassroots people. They speak about Mosaic because it seems like Mosaic has a stronghold amongst politicians in this state, especially. We talked about PAC money. Um, would you be on board with the other people to try and slow some of this PAC? Or like, do you have any ideas on how we can stop the PAC other than just voting in grassroots?
Well, look, to overturn Citizens United is going to be a monumental. We can't do that. But what we can do is, at a congressional level, is provide transparency and increase the transparency of the money and the flow of money, so that it's easier for people to track who's buying who. So that's something that can happen at a federal level.
We were out and we were out doing an interview of a guy who is making terracotta soil out of burned trees. Basically, he's
Biochar.
biochar.
Mhm.
And we saw your sign there in the
Took a
middle of
little selfie
nowhere.
with
We
it.
took a picture of it. I was like, "Oh, look at Denny Spears! Let's go over and take a picture of it." We try to do that when we see grassroots.
Those are good. That's a damn good looking sign too.
Yeah.
I like the sign.
Yeah, have you
I'm a
seen our
fan.
soldiers?
Uh-uh.
Oh, just wait, you're going to go on the highway. It's funny. So we've got mannequins dressed up as revolutionary soldiers. And the whole idea is Thomas Paine's quote, now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country, not for sunshine patriots who just do it for their own benefit when it's popular. But no, we need winter soldiers who are going to bear down when things are tough. And things are tough right now. And so that whole message is a part of the campaign. So we've got 20 soldiers just lined up. We get the funniest comments from people.
I
Yeah,
think we're in the what is it? How do they say it? The strong men create weak men, and weak men create or hard times. We're in
yes.
that hard times part.
Oh,
'Cause
without
we
a
have it
doubt.
so good in this country.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like no one wants to stand up and stand up for what they believe,
Yeah.
the right thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like everybody can be bought,
Yeah.
and I'm tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and you'll see right there, that conference room right there is called 624. And that's a scripture, Matthew 6:24, that you're either going to love money or you're going to love God. You can't
You can't
love
do
both.
so with that being said, my next question for you was the school. So you run the school, you own the school.
I started the school. It's a 501c3, so that we get voucher money, and we make sure that we try to bring in as many people from the community as possible to have a cross section of what the community is. So we've got, Title I, we've got athletes, we've got a lot of different. It's a beautiful, diverse population here.
I saw there's a softball thing. Are those your fields out there too? Is that the
We rent those, and our number 9 team in the nation rents those softball fields. Number 9 team in the entire nation out of all divisions, ESPN ranked. Can you believe
Dang,
that?
this school.
This school with only 250 students.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So we talk about schools. I bet you moan about the public schools a lot in Florida and across this country, that there's not a lot of vote tech. Do you guys have vote tech here for these kids?
Yeah, we do.
Like,
It's a big deal.
Yeah, can you tell me about like what vote techs you guys got here?
Yeah, so we just have we'll try to create the entire cycle as much as we can. So buy a used, for example, and like maybe it was 2 years ago, bought used Sea-Doo and then refurbished the whole thing. Brought the students in, refurbished the whole thing, and then sold it to see the entire life cycle. This is how you can make money. Let's introduce these kids to the markets. The other thing that we try to do is just financial literacy. That's another aspect.
Womack,
That's
things like
huge.
that.
Yeah.
That's
I would assume that the actual what you guys teach is different than public school, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so you guys have you integrate Christianity kind
That's
of
right.
into it. I love it.
That's right.
Love
So
it.
you keep in mind that you could do a charter school. There's public, there's charter, and then there's private. We're private. This is the hardest to try to make work because at a charter school, you can't talk about Jesus. You can't really
Well,
put it all
they took it out of
together.
public school for a reason.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yes.
But they don't want you to know cursive either, so you can't read the Constitution.
You guys teach cursive here?
No, actually.
Let's work on that.
These kids, so they can read. Like for example, my neighbor wrote a letter and put it in my mailbox, and my daughter had no clue how to read it. She was just like, I don't even know what the hell this says. I was like, oh.
I like that you guys incorporate Votech though.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's huge, especially like when I went to high school. I grew up in Missouri. So
I'm going to be in trouble. I'm thinking about, do we teach cursive? And I bet some of my teachers are going to say, I do too. I'm going to be in trouble for that. I'm going to be in trouble for saying that. I'm going to say, I don't.
Shaking his head.
I don't know.
So you moved to Florida when? How long you been grew up here? You moved here?
No, I grew up in Colorado. I moved here in 2010.
Okay.
I moved here in 2010 and put my kids over there at IMG. So we kind of came with the athletic side of things. If you're familiar with IMG, it's a athletic kind of boarding school-ish. And so I had a golfer, a tennis player, and a baseball player. And so that's what brought us here. But then as soon as I got here, I'm like, this is home. This is it.
What year?
2010.
So it's changed a lot since you.
So you saw the overdevelopment happen, and
Yeah.
you talk about the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Do you guys have infrastructure up here? You guys have an issue in your district with infrastructure?
Oh, yeah.
With the older building?
Yeah,
Like,
everybody
what,
does.
What examples do you have for me?
Well,
Infrastructure that need to be fixed up?
just traffic, water, traffic and water.
It seems like water is like, how are they?
Are you
building
guys on the
data centers?
UEP hookup? Is everyone city here? City water, city sewage. I mean, sorry.
Let's
I
see.
feel like it's different.
There's
Massive.
here. There's Bradenton. So Bradenton has city.
Yeah.
Yes, but then
DeSoto's smaller, so they got wells.
yeah, they're all
Yeah.
wells out there, and there's wells in Manatee County. You know,
So you
but
got-
this is incorporated into Bradenton where we are right now.
And you have the water also close. Obviously, you're in St. Pete's, Tampa, water.
Yeah.
Are you part of that Skybridge thing? Is that in your district, the Skybridge?
It's so my district has the St. Pete side, the Manatee side, but right there in the middle is the Hillsborough side. So it's the weirdest. It's the weirdest thing.
Strange, right?
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your campaign.
You don't like the bridge?
No.
No,
Hell no. I'd be white knuckling the whole way.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't like it.
Yeah.
that Skybridge, you go under there with a boat. It needs. They need to
It's
work
some
on
TLC.
TLC. All right, so we talked about the infrastructure. Now I want to get back to the data centers. You said there's 2 plans in this area in
Yeah.
Bradenton.
No.
In your
In the
district.
district. Yeah. So Fort Meade and DeSoto.
And what's your plan to fight the data centers if you get into office?
Great question. From office, first we got to just let everybody know that this is not a national security issue. The entire premise for these hyperscale data centers is
Spying.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
cameras.
that and greed. It's part of this overall land use arbitrage that's been a rush and with government subsidies to create control. It's a oligopoly is what it is. It's a big tech control that now the government can control the big tech, and now
Well,
there's control, and
So
it's
if
a
the government
surveillance state.
built them, they wouldn't be able to because of
Laws.
the laws,
Patriot
the
Law.
Patriot Act.
Patriot Act. They would need to get.
So therefore, private people build them, then they get control. It's a loophole for them to use.
Yeah,
And
and
it's going to become a spy center. That's all it is. Same with the flock cameras.
yep, flock cameras,
Palantir,
big
all that.
issue. Yep,
You guys have
Palantir,
flock cameras around?
we do.
So there's
Yay!
Not for long.
not for long.
Hey,
So there's something going
Were
on.
you guys? Did you guys do the somebody just put out on social media and said, "Hey, there's this much copper in it." Was
yeah,
that you
I just
guys?
made a post.
Look,
Said, hey, is copper up? You know what to do.
look, I'm not encouraging breaking of the law.
He didn't say it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So the flock cameras, they're fine. There's there's a guy, I watched, I noticed it too. When they came with the plans for these flock cameras, they're supposed to have skid plate on crash into because they are in the safety zone of a
Mm.
lot of streets, so they're not set back. So when they designed these poles, there was a skid plate that if you hit the pole would fall
It
down,
would give.
just like everything else on the
Yeah.
side of the road that's designed that way.
Yeah.
Well, now they're just installing the flock cameras in concrete in the ground. If you hit that with your car, you're killing everybody in the car, and there's going to be two cars afterwards. That's how big they're. They're this round. They're black and they're thick,
Yeah, they're thick.
and they will stop a car and split it in half in a second. And
I did not know
It's
that.
yeah,
dangerous.
it's real dangerous.
Yeah.
So that might be something you want to look into. Um,
But that's just the key. What you're saying right now, nobody's getting this information out. The movement, we've got to stay together and try to learn and verify all this information and find out so that we can fight and stand against it. And we need champions to fight against it. And so that's what I've been doing. That's when the campaign last time and this time is all about championing the cause of fighting against the crony capitalism.
so if all things turn out well and the grassroots gets in, and you guys have a big coalition together, and hopefully we can change some things back to the way it used to be with the overbuilding and the infrastructure, and
Yeah.
slow it down. And you guys have a big home crisis here up in here. I know down. I see a lot of stuff with Tampa and St. Pete's that it's the highest delinquency on mortgages
Yeah.
in that area. Do you have any kind of idea on how to fix that?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Stop spending money like a bunch of drunken sailors in Congress. That inflation is the hidden tax that's crushing people. But you got to understand that this is going to be a kind of a 1-2 punch by the establishment, by the entrenched establishment. So they want to say, hey, affordable housing, we can solve it. And again, that's
How do you solve affordable housing when the housing market won't come down because they're inflating it with all these builders just leaving empty homes that are up for sale for $500,000 that have been sitting there for a year and a half?
Yeah, well, they're going to try it with higher density and more paving over Florida. And so you've got this disaster waiting to happen. But anytime you see markets that fluctuate, there's somebody that makes money through the market fluctuation, through a bubble and through the crash.
Yes.
They know that there's a bubble, they know there's a crash. They're creating a
And
bubble
then
right now.
And then who saves all of their asses? The taxpayer.
Yeah, and
We saw it in 08.
yeah,
Housing market crashed. All these companies needed bailouts. Who paid for it? We did.
Yeah.
I'm tired of bailing these fuckers out.
yeah,
I really am.
yeah,
And I
I've-
think that this is a problem from both sides of the fucking aisle.
yeah, without a
I'm
doubt.
tired of it. We cannot live like this and continue to live like this. My generation can't afford anything.
Like I like what Matt the welder says. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. We don't need a blue wave for sure. And the red wave to the blue wave is a problem. What we need is a tidal wave to take out all the corruption.
Both.
That's what we have to do, because it's just kabuki theater of the uniparty, which is the entrenched establishment, and it's a bunch of cowards who aren't going to
Puppets.
actually solve problems. We can solve these problems. We got to start with single item bills, so that there's not these omnibus bills in Congress. Just let's hold congressional members accountable to we the people, so they can go back home and try to defend this ridiculous pork that they're putting out there.
So you brought a good point. You see time and time again, everybody shows up at these council meetings and they're fighting the council members, but these people don't realize that these council members are bought by the people in the back room. They pay for their elections. They pay for everything for them. They give them the money. I forgot where I was.
But let me jump in. It's good, because I'd love to jump in right there. I don't want to discourage people from continuing to going to those county meetings, because those people that are up there, I'm telling you, we saw it here in Manatee County. They're like, oh my goodness, everybody hates me. What's going on? I thought my my handler just said this wasn't going to be a big deal, and they're getting crushed personally. So they're part of the damage too. These county commissioners, there's good people, and so you got to fight there and recognize what's causing it all at the same time.
So I think a good use of technology, especially nowadays, would be guys like you. You get into office, you create a website and you put a poll up there and you let people register in your district. They have to be in your district. They
Vote on it.
register, they
Mhm.
upload, whatever they got to upload to prove that they live in your district. And you can put up there, hey, I'm voting on this. What do you guys want? And you can get a feel of the constituents. If 10,000 people vote and
You can also
80%,
go into detail on
Yeah.
explaining why it's either good
but
or
nobody
bad.
does that. Why doesn't
No
nobody
one
do
does that.
that?
Well, they pretend to do that, and the previous member of Congress used to send out polls, but there's a million ways to deceive people. So how the
Yeah.
poll is written and what are you asking at any given time, you're right. I mean, so they're giving a an appearance of doing that, but it's not really happening. Nor, honestly, we got to remember that from my standpoint, I'm a Republican,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't want just a pure democracy. That's not the goal here
It's a
either.
constitutional republic.
It's a constitutional republic of democratically elected officials. So that's important. But what we need is officials that will go out and talk and defend their votes and say, "This is why I vote. I know that you wanted this, but if we do that,
I
then
think the huge
this."
problem is, well, back then in the 1700s, 1776, they just put you on a fucking pole and shoot you and or hang you. Now these politicians run around like, hey, I don't fucking have to answer to you anymore. And it's actually, bro, we own you. We're supposed to,
Yeah,
not the other way around.
yeah,
So I think until people are actually starting to be held accountable and, like he says all the time, primary them, the minute they don't do what they say they're going to do, get them the fuck out.
yeah,
It's that simple.
yeah,
Until you get someone in there that's actually going to do what he says he's going to do.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the people don't realize that, like even the cops and the firemen and teachers and people in local communities, yes, you have a job, but when you run for office,
Mm-hmm.
they have to hold your job while you're in office.
Yeah.
It may be taxing on the community for that one job, but when you're done with office, you go back to your regular job. And we need more
That's right.
people that are everyday people to go in there and fight for us. What you're doing, and it's crazy because I know I reach out to every politician you could think of, right? And it seems to me that the establishment politicians, they don't pick up the phone. But I have your personal number. You'll
Yeah,
pick up. Bobby Williams will pick up. Matt DeWelder will pick up. Paul Renner will pick up. Fishback will pick up.
yeah,
Local guys, Muley will pick up. Like all these guys that if I call them, they pick up. They want
yeah.
to hear what I have to say. They want, hey, what are you doing? I get a call. Can you make it to this event? I don't get, or we don't get, as the show, invited to certain events because they're scared of us.
See, and
And I
that's a
think that's what it is. They're scared of the movement that we're trying to build.
that's
They're
right.
mad that we're supporting you guys, that we're giving you guys airtime.
Yeah,
And that's really what it is. We're trying to give you guys airtime to speak your truths of who you are and what you're about.
yeah,
And you're obviously a God-fearing man. You're a Christian man. You started a school for religious reasons.
yeah.
Now, this school, you take everybody here, or is it just
Yeah, how does that work?
how does
How
that
do they
work?
get in here?
Like,
Well, we interview them
Oh,
and we bring them in, and I can tell you, the Bible says, here's the religion that our Father sees as pure is looking after widows and orphans. And so there's a lot of orphan kids out there, even if the dad's there or he's in jail or the dad is, not there or is absent, for whatever reason. So there's a lot of that we have here at the school. There's a high percentage of
I think
of that.
another big question for people is: do you guys teach the Bible the way the Bible's supposed to be taught, or do you guys put it in your own words? Because there's a lot of places nowadays that
Yeah.
completely flip the Bible.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being by the book, what it
I
teaches.
I love this question. Let's do another podcast on this one.
Yeah.
Seriously, because it
You
is
see it.
what we
You
train
see
these
it.
kids to do is, and what we say is, do not trust me. I'm up there. I'm the superintendent of the school. I'm saying, do not trust me. You need to go to the Word and you need to measure everything I say,
Question everything.
question
Yeah,
all of
that's
it
good.
against the Bible. And if I'm wrong, great. And I've had teachers who have tested me on that and called me out on different things. And at times they're right.
That's how you should.
And, but then I learn because I don't want to
Yeah.
be afoul of the Bible. And nobody's perfect in everything they've done. So you got to walk with humility.
You know what I miss? I miss strong Christianity. I feel like Christianity has become so weak, and these men are not truly like Jesus wasn't. He flipped fucking tables, bro. Like the guy, he could get
Yes,
angry.
that's
He
right.
got mad.
That's right.
What happened to the Christianity like that?
Well,
Why is everyone so sensitive? Oh, we gotta love the neighbor. We gotta, oh, we
It's
can't
almost
do
like
that. We
it's
can't
almost
piss
like a
anybody off.
psyop where
It's
It-
they
bullshit.
told us
It
anger
is.
they've told us violence isn't the answer,
Yeah.
right? We've
Yep.
all been taught that our entire lives
Yeah.
in this country.
Yeah.
The problem is
Well, you said
we've-
soft. They've been
Soft Christians.
making us
Protect
soft
your women,
and
protect your children.
telling us that niceness is the highest ideal. As long as
unfortunately,
you're
the rest
nice.
of the rest of the world is not teaching their people that.
Yeah.
They're just taking advantage of us in this country. We see it with the money we're pouring into other countries,
Yeah.
the wars that we're pouring into other countries. Do you support any of that?
I'm not going to say I don't support any of it. People are looking for just a carte blanche. I'm not ready to go with a carte
What's
blanche.
your view on it? That's what this is why we're here. We're getting your real views on this because that's what we're missing in this country.
Yeah.
Is the personal views of the political people.
Yeah. So America first.
America first.
And what does that mean with regards to the war in Iran? We need to understand that who our enemy is. Iran has been exporting terrorism since 1979 and even before that. And they are the ones, when I went to the border in 2024, 2023, and I talked to all the sheriffs, they couldn't believe how many people were coming over during the Biden administration saying, we're over here for jihad. And then they started yelling Allah Akbar. As soon as they tried to arrest him, they're like, you can't arrest us. And because there's been a network between Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and Venezuela, and then Nicaragua. And we haven't heard much about Nicaragua lately, by the way. But that was the network that people would come for jihad. They would go spend some time in Iran, and then all these sheriffs, they recognized, oh my goodness, you hear that dialect? That is not authentic Venezuelan Spanish. That guy's from Iran. And so they were coming over here for jihad reasons. 20 to 30%, a sheriff in Arizona told me. 20 to 30% of the 15 million that were coming over during that time.
Right.
So anyway, I don't mean to go off.
No, this is why we ask you this. So
Yeah.
how do we solve that? I mean, we were expecting mass deportation, and it's obviously not happening the way we voted Trump in to do it. Like
Not how he talked.
yeah, it's not. It seems like our presidency got hijacked by a certain.
I think we're getting the Timu version this round. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I support him. I voted for him.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna question you.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, another problem in this country is nobody can.
Oh
You
yeah.
can vote somebody in and still question what they do.
That's exactly right, and that is a problem when we, especially within the Republican Party, the principles need to govern the party, but now all of a sudden it's about the party governing the principles, and now we're being told that Lindsey Graham is the epitome of conservative values. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I can't. I'm not going there. No, I can't. I can't go there. We can't compromise our principles. And that's what makes America great, is that we can have discussions. We can argue. It's the Socratic method. You learn more by arguing and going back and forth on these things. And having debates. That's another thing, debates. Finally got Sydney to agree to a debate. We'll see if she actually does it. But everybody, all the citizens that are watching become better informed through debates and through the things that you guys are doing.
They're not even allowing debates anymore.
Are you going to try to do it? You said.
Yeah, well, it's funny. This one's fun. This just happened last night. So this is what it takes to have the guts to stand up and call people out. So I went to Joe Gruder's backyard. He ran this Sarasota REC, which is the local county Republican executive committee. And a lot of these have been just purged of America First conservatives, or been taken over so that everybody you sit down, shut up, and vote for the people that we tell you to vote for. No, we're not. But this is Joe Gruder's backyard. So I went right in there and I said, look, because they were all talking about informed citizens. I'm like, this is great. I love this. Thank you. Sidney Gruder's campaign manager was there, Max Goodman. And I said, so don't you agree that debates are the best way to make sure that citizens are informed? Max Goodman, will you allow Sidney to debate me? And he's like, he tried to get out of it. Then he said, she'll debate anybody, anytime, anywhere. I'm like, great, I got you on record. Let's go.
You're gonna debate her.
And this
Yeah,
morning,
let us host that.
oh,
We'll run the
they,
whole debate for you.
yeah, you guys aren't allowed. I'm sure when the time comes, they won't let you
So
in.
speaking of not allowed,
Yeah.
you're not allowed at the Sunshine Showdown. Did you not get an invite to that? I'm curious because you are.
Apparently, it's a big debate, but no one that they're running against is going to be there. So I'm confused as to what the debate
What's
is
going
happening.
on? So did you not get an invite? I didn't see you on the flyer.
No, I didn't get an invite.
That's weird.
No, that's weird.
I don't think Bobby got one either.
No, Bobby's on there.
No, Bobby is on there. I
Bobby-
couldn't believe that
All
he was on
Bobby,
there.
Yeah, all
They
within
didn't
the
invite
last
you.
week though. I called Bobby like 5 days ago.
I think what they end up doing is they pick things out and they want somebody saying, "See, we invited
This is
everybody."
why I hate the fucking GOP. I really
So they
do.
invited
Oh.
they invited Fish back. He accepted.
Yeah.
They posted it. Randy Fine said,
Said,
"Nope,
nope.
I'm not going because
Here's
he's
an anti-Semite."
So
Yeah.
he backed out, and then
Yeah.
another Jewish person backed out, and then basically Fishback said, "Hey,
I'm curious.
I'm going to debate Byron anyway," and they booted him.
What are
today
your
from-
thoughts with the Israel tie with America?
So that goes back to let's recognize who are our friends and who are our enemies.
Do you really think they're our friend?
I think they're the only Western civilization there in the Middle
I
East,
think it's
and there's freedom there, and they're fighting terrorists. And what's conflated this whole thing is the Epstein files. So I understand why people are like, what the heck? Why is there so much outsized influence with Israel? So that's a Mossad operation.
Right.
You know, most people have called that a Mossad, and I don't have any reason to believe that it's not. I think it is.
What school books do you use here?
Bob Jones. Yeah.
Because there's a Mossad connection to the public school books. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I didn't.
So Giselle Maxwell's father.
Okay.
He was a Mossad agent.
Yeah.
He actually went into business with McGraw-Hill
Mm-hmm.
and rewrote a lot of our history books.
I'm not a big fan of McGraw-Hill, but to go back to the Epstein files, because now we're told Pam Bondi gets up there, has the Department of Justice, and stands before Congress and says, "Well, the Dow's at 50,000. Can't we just get past this?
We'll
Are
never
you
know.
kidding
We'll
me?"
never know what
I think we will. I think if we get enough people in office like Eddie, I think they're not going to have a choice.
So America First means what's going on within our intelligence operation. Oh, they've partnered with this, and we hear nothing about it. As a matter of fact, you just see them covering up again and again and again. So I'm in a very unique position that I'm calling out Iran as the biggest exporter of terrorism, and I believe that there's
Between them and Yemen. Yemen's pretty
yeah.
bad too.
Well, yeah, but Iran's
all
the
bad
big
over
one.
there.
Iran's the big one. So how do we manage all this? And we got to be America first and recognize we've got a problem with our intelligence communities. We got a problem with the Justice Department that's not
I'm sorry.
executing justice for the victims that
Yeah,
we've
but
had.
I
Let alone I want to throw all the way back to Fauci too. Let's put Fauci into this. This is a big
Gates.
problem. Bill Gates, Fauci, and what they did.
I think our biggest issue, though, I think America First means I'm tired of helping other countries, and I think we need to take care of ours before anyone else.
I agree.
We're in a
I
position
completely
where guys,
agree.
Where guys like him that are
Yep.
28 years old, like most men can't buy a house until they're 40s, and he's an exception. He has a family, he has a
But
kid.
$4 million from my area is going to Israel. Why?
Is it
I don't
that-
care
it-
about Israel.
Yeah.
I don't care about anybody else outside of where this fucking country is.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And that's the viewpoint. This is why we
That's
are
my
together,
era,
right?
and
Because-
that's why this younger generation that's coming up is going to be a totally different ball game, because we don't do the whole, oh well, we didn't get it this time, maybe next time around. No, it's either you do it or you get out.
lesser of two
That's-
evils.
It used to be that we could just skate by and the American dream was still alive, but
They've
now
stolen too much money from us. is
it's
what
too
happens.
much.
Well, and all these
It's too
programs
much.
that have been put in place that were supposed to benefit people are so bloated and it's all bureaucrats, and it's all money getting thrown this way and that way and this way, and the way it was intended to be spent isn't even there anymore.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
They're cutting
It's a
bets.
huge problem, but we can't just throw out the baby with the bathwater. We still have a constitution,
We do.
Yeah, we do.
So
I don't think they follow it much, but
no, but it's
definitely have a
still the law of the
constitution.
land. But it's going to be a Herculean effort. But we got. What else am I going to do?
yeah.
No.
You
I
know?
applaud you for what you're trying to do. I really do.
respect it.
There's
Yeah.
not a lot of people out here.
We
out
just
there
like to hear,
do.
we like to hear your side of it.
That's all. I mean.
That's all.
I agree.
So the kid vote.
Yeah.
We see what Fishback's doing with these kids, getting them, rallying them up. How are you going to win the kids vote? How are you going to win the youth vote from 18 to 40 years old?
Well, I know
message do you have for them?
they're more connected than they used to be,
Mhm.
which is good. But they're still not voting as much
tough.
as they should. They're
I
not.
agree.
They're complaining. They're
That's the
complaining
biggest
more
thing.
than anybody.
It's either
but
going to be the biggest turnout from the youth that you've ever seen, or it's going to be just like it always is, which they never show up.
yeah.
That's what we're waiting to see.
We're waiting to see. I personally.
So what needs to happen there is there's got to be trust in the institutions.
does.
And Obama laid it out very well. He said, "Look, we're just going to pollute everything so that there's no trust in any kind of
The same-
institution, and then we've won." That's what
Single-
he said. He literally said, "That's not AI. That's what Obama
He's gonna get
said."
me riled up on Obama, bro. The guy who single-handedly brought back racism.
Yeah.
Single-handedly. I mean, without, everything was great up until Obama ran, and then now it's so divided.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I can't stand that.
Even I grew up in New Jersey, and
Yeah.
in the 90s, like there wasn't like my school was mixed, and there was really no fighting like there is today.
Yeah.
Amongst us, we all hung out, we all busted each other's balls, we all ragged on each other, we all played football together, we did sports together, we went to parties.
Yeah.
And now there's such a divide in this country, just like red versus blue.
Yeah.
People don't realize that it's two heads to the same snake.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, we have Democrats. Yes, we have Republicans.
Well,
but then we have the super Democrats, and then we have the super Republicans. And people don't understand that, we're being controlled, right? It's like driving a car. Like, your turn, you drive it
They
into
give
this
you
wall.
just enough.
My turn, I'll drive it into this wall. You
Yeah,
drive
yeah.
it into this wall.
They
Yeah.
give you
Just take
just enough
turns.
to keep you happy
Yeah.
and never actually change anything.
That's exactly right. Well, I saw this when I was a trustee at New College of Florida. So I didn't have public office, but I was a trustee at a university. That was a big transformation that happened there at New College of Florida. So it was the most liberal university in Florida and one of the top 5, top 10 most liberal universities in the nation. So to give you an idea, there was over 50% of the population identified as LGBTQIA, all of that. They would have taxpayer-funded sex toy parties in the residence rooms.
How does the school handle that?
How does this school handle
Yeah,
that?
when it comes to that.
We don't have sex parties. We don't have RAs. What do you mean?
I know that.
So
Whenever they come in, or if they were to have that kind of thought.
if they have that kind of thought,
Yeah.
everybody's different.
Yeah.
We've got to individualize things,
Mhm.
and so that's what I was going to get at with the story with New College of Florida. So, I believe in saying the truth and speaking the truth and in confronting issues, but not in a demeaning way.
Yeah.
So
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. You know what I'm saying? You just got to say it like that.
yeah, and
I don't think that's what he's saying, but I know what you're saying.
but it's pretty close, honestly, is what ended up happening. So I said, how am I going to have a conversation with these guys? I got to tell them what I believe, and I got to tell them
It's hard.
now.
Your
Respectfully.
morals.
Yeah, and
respectfully.
well, sometimes it doesn't come across respectfully at first.
Sometimes you just need to hear that.
I sent it out. I said trans is a mental disorder, and I put it in
And your parents
on
failed
social
you.
media to everybody, and I sent it to everybody there at New College of Florida.
And it's
and
not.
so we had SWAT teams coming. We couldn't even. There was the whole nation was looking at this. This is a big issue at the time. Next thing you know, I'm making this post, and everybody's just livid about it. Absolutely livid about this. And then I felt like that God was asking me to go on campus. So I'm calling up, I'm going to go on campus. They're like, we can't have the resources. We don't have a SWAT team every time you come by, and we're not going to do it, because I was starting to already get pressure from the establishment. You got to understand this. This is DeSantis with a bunch of people, and still there's a grift component of what happened. And yet I was in the middle of this at the same time. So they wouldn't let me go on campus. I'm like, we can't have this. If we're going to work through our issues, we've got to work through these face to face. We can't just ignore each other and call each other names through the media. So I went on campus, and it was a beautiful thing that happened. So I went on campus, and the loudest trans student sees me immediately and starts screaming at me. Just screaming, "Who do you think you are, calling trans a mental disorder, blah, blah, blah." And what I said to him, and nobody would take this story, so thank you for listening, but nobody would take this story. What I told him is, look, I think we're pitted against each other from the beginning. Let me tell you what I think about you, if you'll listen to me. I believe that you're made in the image of God, and therefore you have infinite value in my mind, in my estimation. Therefore, I'm going to treat you with incredible respect. But I'm allowed to have an opinion here, and I'm sharing you with my opinion. But let's sit down and have a conversation. Next thing you know, he sat down. We had a conversation. He's still throwing out a bunch of F-bombs, calling me this, calling me that, but we were talking. And then the rest of the students came in and they took their cues from the leader. And it was just divine providence that happened. And then next thing you know, I met with these students daily sometimes, and I would go, and because that's what's needed to try to heal. Now, the rest of the grift machine that was happening did not want to acknowledge that there was somebody on the other side. They want to dehumanize the opposition. That's a huge problem, because once you start to dehumanize the opposition, then these rifts are never going to be healed, and our nation won't be healed. So what we saw there at New College of Florida was a ecosystem of how to actually heal our division, the division and the wounds that happen.
But I think
a big problem though is
I made great friends with those guys. We disagreed, and some of them were socialist, and I'm still, I saw them at a gun show. I don't mean to scare people, socialists with guns, but that's okay. It's a Second Amendment right. But I had made friends with all these guys, and it was a good thing. But the media is not going to pick that up, because the media makes money, and the establishment and the entrenched uniparty.
It doesn't fit their narrative.
It doesn't.
No.
But the biggest thing I can tell these kids is it's not even your fault. Your parents failed you. It's very simple. You know what I'm saying? If you think you're a trans, your parents failed you.
We have our own opinions. Everybody has their own opinions.
And I don't tiptoe around that. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to be like, oh, but it's this way. No, there's something fucking wrong with you because your parents failed you. It's very simple. We need to go back to that.
Sometimes they don't, every situation is different. So I'm going to have a hard time saying there's some people that their parents died, or their parents left, or their parents were incapacitated from one way or another. So everybody's at a different, but what I have a problem with is institutionalizing, normalizing it.
Normalizing it.
Through institutional, right. Through taxpayer
pushing it on
funded.
to everybody.
And that's what happened at New College of Florida. They're like, this is the way, and let's make more activists.
That's what college is, brother.
So did you keep going that? Did you keep that up at college?
Yeah, I did until Joe Gruters left me off the list and didn't confirm me. I believe that's what happened, Joe Gruters, because he was the most powerful person in the Senate, and they left me off, just a simple rubber stamp. Now, why would that happen? Well, here's why it would happen. Here's, I can't prove this.
Yeah, your opinion. Go ahead.
But Joe Gruters wrote the legislation in 2019 to make trans a protected class.
Oh,
that's the
head. Gay Sesame Street.
That's the head of the RNC.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. That means that if his legislation passed, that means I would have to allow boys to play in girls' sports if they thought they were a girl. I'd have to allow boys to go into the girls' bathrooms. I'd have to tell my teachers to tell a lie and use the pronouns of a student who is confused of their choosing. That would have been the law. So obviously I stand against it. And then Joe Gruters, like the shadow government does, kind of knocks me out, and now I'm not a trustee at New College of Florida anymore.
Interesting.
Maybe we need to have a conversation with this guy.
You're not going to sit down with us, but it's a good thought.
Yeah.
So let's go back to you and what you're about. So you run this school, you have a family. What do you do outside of that for yourself and your family? Enjoy the amenities of the area? Like, what do you guys do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. what do I do? I go hang out on the beach and just enjoy the
You like fishing?
beautiful.
Like fishing,
I-
gator wrestling.
I do.
So what is your
Anything that's
thoughts,
exciting.
What are your thoughts on them and the stuff that they spray in our canals?
That was my next question. Good job.
Yeah.
Got you.
I think we've got a problem, and again, follow the money. Who's getting paid to continue this? That there's no conservationist, there's no fisherman that is saying, "Hey, this is great."
No,
They're really
there's
All
not
the fish
one.
die.
they're
There's
taking
not
care of
one.
our lakes. These lakes were beautiful, and everybody remembers how beautiful it was, and that's sad.
I would rather see 20 airboats all over the place scooping this shit out of it instead of
Well, they
spraying
have
it.
those machines. So I came down here probably about 15 years ago, and I went fishing in some big lake. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but it was on the West Coast. And I see this big machine. It was chopping up all this stuff, and it would dump it into the back, and then they take it to a field, dry it out. Like, why can't we give people jobs? Why can't we do things like that instead of 300-pound men sitting on a
Chemicals.
boat and just spraying chemicals?
I got a good video for you. It was actually right outside my front door the other day.
So they
Those
did it
are
in my
yeah,
backyard.
yeah.
They did it in my backyard, and then a week later, my wife's Nick. I'm like, "What's up?" She's like, "All the fish are dead."
Yeah.
Weird. So it's having an impact on the environment for sure.
Yeah.
Whether it's the muck that falls to the bottom and then kills all the oxygen in the water.
Yeah.
Right. We know this is happening. People are complaining about it. People are talking about it, and that's one of the reasons why we brought it up.
They've declared war with Mother Nature. Hydrilla. It's like
crazy,
hydrilla is an invasive species, so therefore we've got to kill it at all costs.
The lettuce that's in our seed table, right? In the fossils, that the lettuce was here.
Yeah.
It's not an invasive species if it was a fossilized seed here.
It's just invasive to us.
It's just invasive to us, and it's not manageable for them. And the chemicals they have to go, and that's one of the reasons why we do endorse Matt the Welder
Yeah.
as a show.
Yeah.
Because he's doing good things in the fight that he's putting up.
He is.
So if people want to donate to you, if people want to check you out, what are your social medias?
Eddie Speir at X and Eddie Speir for Congress on Facebook, and the website is Eddie Speir. Now keep in mind it's EDDIE SPEIR. So
No
it's
S.
I before E, no S, I before E except with me. So, so Eddie Speir for Congress, spelled out FOR, Congress.com.
So if you have a message for the people that you're going to be representing,
Yeah.
speak to them in the camera, let them know what you want, what you're doing, what's your plans.
Huh.
If they vote you in the office.
My plan is to represent you and to represent your voice and the voice of we the people, and to speak truth boldly and courageously, no matter what the cost is, because I believe in this country and I love this country and I love our Constitution that protects our freedoms.
We appreciate you sitting down with us, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Appreciate it,
And
brother.
we'll hopefully sit down with you again at the end of July.
Yeah,
Get you back on video so people can know who you are.
awesome.
And like I said, we got something planned with the voter registration, and we're gonna get that going. And hopefully
I'm
you'll be on
excited
that.
about that. I'm excited about
That'd be
that.
awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Thanks,
you.
guys.
And everybody check out the Inspiration Academy in Bradenton.
Yeah.